Hello, my name is Dustin Timmons, and today I'm going to be sharing with you my week one's assignment called Industry Case Study. And let's get right to it, shall we? All right. What inspired my dream job as a mixing or mastering engineer slash music producer? Um, just being a part of hip hop and what I've been through what is the main reason, like to where I can actually wrap my head around seeing where I could be at later in life. But it all started when I was little. Ever since I could pick up an instrument, I was just in tune with sound. But I've had an array of music all my life from my parents, being a child, all the way to like Portuguese jazz. It's probably the farthest reach I had. Um, and another reason, such as being here at Full Sail, was I knew I had to be educated, but I didn't know when, and just how it lined up for me, what path I'm on for that to even show up like it did. It's not a coincidence. So these things inspire me or help me know that's the path I'm about to lead. There's some more information I covered. But things like room acoustics and stuff, I noticed that early on. And when I attempted to record my guitar at the age of 12, I had gained this understanding of the physical works of the instrument and what I couldn't control at the time. But the recordings, I used to mess around with it, and then I actually recorded it as just an audio track, not like a video of myself. And so just messing around with certain apps like BandLab, it helped me see or get it helped me have an open mind and see, like, when I upgraded to Logic, the same things I would use in both apps. One's obviously better, but there's different purposes for something on a lower end of who would use it. Like, everyone wants the good stuff, but I got to have the knowledge to know everything is in your arsenal. It's not about the highest price thing or the best equipment. It's just what you can utilize, and that's basically the start. But finances and collaboration have always struck my curiosity. Collaboration the most, but just how money works and how it all fits in with me just trying to be myself. That's very interesting to me. And how it would look compared to how it looks to other artists or producers or whatever. Um, I'm just very interested to see what it's gonna look like. Have an idea, but we will see. DJ Muggs is my uh, inspirational profile for the industry that I'm choosing. Um, he is a mastering engineer, maybe mixing. I believe mastering, to be quite honest, but producer for both these examples is what I'm focusing on. Even though I'm talking about mixing and mastering more later, it that's more like a good foot in the door or a step in the right direction. Whereas the producer would be the dream job, quote unquote. Um, my dream job honestly might not even exist yet. I might have to fight and change laws to, make the expression I'm bringing to hip hop, something to support ourselves. Um, that would really be the dream. But for this assignment, being a producer, and how he did it was staying to his person, not caring about the laws, even though naturally he would follow the musical laws or whoever set those. And especially without hip hop like being at its prime, it was hard for them, but they're focusing on themselves, and there'll be illegal samples or things they can't release due to illegal things. But the songs that are legal, they got shaped because of all the work he did, even if he didn't release it. And that's the kind of path I'm leading. I'm more about sound, so you could put all the songs out there for free and people will know you. That's the start of your success, especially if you can't get any money for what you're doing. Um, so when you do something different, maybe such as walk down regular paths of success, then you might have more notoriety or more success basically. But that's just not important to me. Just how he stuck to himself and laws aren't set in stone, so he just did what he felt was natural to him, and he really achieved something in himself. And the titles helped his trajectory. But if he had those titles and he wasn't the person he was, there's no change really. And I'm about change. Um, so yeah, the producer side is mainly his creative outlet, like of how he can craft things, as opposed to like maybe I get a say in something. It's like no, that's his title. So it's very inspirational to me, like the control he has. KRS-One, he is producer, MC, philosopher, and teacher of the hip hop culture. And he was there from the start of hip hop, and they weren't even hip hop at the moment. That's what they came up with. So it's very interesting to see 50 years later, like to now, like what's happened and what he's brought. And it seems like just from sound, he's brought so much. That's not just about sound. That's what I aspire to be. It's very amazing. And like I said, I'm focused on the producer side of it, but it's about the person he comes as before getting that producer title or whatever title, you know, and what you can do with it. And that's very important to me. It's a greater purpose than just music and sound. Um, like I said, it was 50 years in the making till today, and it's amazing to me how he's the main show that people come to see, but everyone sees break dancers and DJs shine and graffiti artists. While he's the main attraction, somehow they could be just as equal. And they came to see him, so I mean, technically nowadays it's all about hip hop, so they came to see hip hop, and that's all that. So it's the inspiration behind it is amazing to me, and both those people are talking about reality, and one's more in general, like a life that should be lived, and another one's more like this is my reality, and it's all about their person and keeping it on full blast. Um, but just what they do with sound itself, everyone has this option, and what they do with it is, to me, very humbling. Like compared to how anyone used to think or how they used to see music before going to school or whatever. Um, Mixing and mastering engineer. Why I seek either career. I'm just gonna read the slide. The majority of people appreciate sonic quality more than they realize. It is our responsibility as mixing engineers to craft the sonic aspects of the final piece. So I agree with that, but it's more for me. It's more like preserving whatever someone sees in there, for the music's sake, but for their vision. I could use my ears to be less subjective and more. I might not like the sound, but this is what you're after, and I know how to get you there, kind of thing. Just creating is the goal for me. Like everything else, it's just it's a bonus. Like just the fact that I could do anything with sound really helps me. Um, Important keys to find success as a mastering engineer. Um, oh, I skipped the slide. I meant to drag it. Okay. So some of the listed skills may come more naturally to you than others, but fortunately, all of them can be learned or improved upon, and ultimately achieved with time and dedication. That to me, um, it seems that anyone can do it, but imagine, like if you put in the time, even if you're bad at it, you're gonna get good if you use your time on it. So, in some respects, but if you have a nature with it, it it's very interesting what's gonna sprout or what's gonna be, what you will create. And if anyone can do it, I just don't want to follow paths to success such as school. And I like this school especially because of how they say the things they do. Like no one would use this ever, but I'll tell you about it anyways. No one would ever do this, but I'll tell you. Like it's very amazing how the school does that. And what I like about it is how, and something I can do is how You can make a whole song or whatever, and then the other aspect is controlling and positioning it all. And I feel like the person you come as you sit there and make your song changes everything. And so these are for success, but really, is that you, honestly? Not like, oh, I'm not an audiophile, so let me go out and do that. A critical listener. Maybe you're going to do this anyway. Maybe just work on those things or really stick to what you got already. Find yourself in it. Everything will come later, I would think. Why I aspire to be a music producer? Since there's a potential to do this from the comfort of your own home, it might make this role more relevant in the sense of, you know, if I'm someone out there that has this established sound and anyone could partake or use me versus, oh, I'm just here to help everyone else out because I've done it for myself and that's my objective. Like, kind of the same thing said on both sides, but different product arrives with your intentions. Um, I'm not very subjective to music, so I feel like I have this opportunity. I could utilize my ears doing justice for those who can't find their sounds. Maybe think they have all this equipment and they still can't find their sounds. They don't realize it's not about the good equipment; it's about you. Um, just all those things, like, and things I can't think of at the moment. Like, I feel like I have something to offer people. It's mainly for others. I'm very selfless, so for hip hop at least, when I'm putting a new expression out there that hasn't been done, I feel like I could help people out and they could express themselves like they want to. Um, and the involvement in the role of being a music producer, it presents opportunities such as, like, I mean, anything in the music industry. Like, for me, collaboration of finances, I want to see what that looks like. But things like that, my initial thought is probably so much more involved than I think it is. Um, that inspires me too. I'm like, all this and then some. That's amazing to me. Skills versus current skills upon graduation. My best skill is to map out a song and see past what I don't have, such as, like, maybe I have to gate something later on or do this and that, or I EQ it, and how do I get out of that, start fresh, or if I don't want to mess everything up, still keep my recordings. Just random examples. Um, I could see past that and see what it's like in my brain, and then I have like a mapped out song or in the legend, like on a map, like if you're driving. That's how I feel. Like, I mapped it out for when I get to Logic, or since I've came to school really. Um, I can use that and play with that. Like, it's almost like copying and pasting, but in another sense, I could slowly take my time and see that this kick drum doesn't fit with the lyrics, or this gate doesn't work with that, or since I didn't use the gate, I could think my way there and be like, have ideas, maybe write them down. That's my best skill that I've attained. And anything like failures that I might have, they're not really that. It's another direction towards success. Um, so hip hop for me, I get to use everything in my environment and succeed with it. Um, but for how I used to think, and most other people, it's like, if you set your career up in your youth, or I want to do this, you might just be living a life you thought in your youth for the rest of your days. And it's hard to change things when you set them in stone, or you didn't set it in stone, but you didn't know what you were getting into, and now you're just kind of here. You got to spend years to get out of something or sway a different way. So hip hop helped me in that sense, and it's another skill, I would say. Like, there's more than I could think of for myself in my youth right now. So I'm not doing all the thinking or setting up things. Maybe having ideas, but goals, but I don't live life reacting. There would be a time and a place to do things. Technically, this is another skill. As I hone in on these things, I make better material and songs that I shouldn't ever have. Like, I don't think I'm capable of this. It feels like I'm uh, just tuned in with the sound. You know, heck, if I technically know this is wrong and I shouldn't do this, it's like I can make it right in the song because I'm not thinking so logically. And like I said about the youth, um, our minds change. You know, so what I'm doing now and then what I'm going to learn in school is going to be very different versus I have my ideas and I'm making songs this way. I'm following the laws of music. So, like if I'm releasing stuff, so that's shaping my creativity and what I'm limited to do. All those things. And then I take school, then it's a different outcome. Same skills, but using it for the wrong, to me, the wrong purposes, like less of myself and more like just any person could do that. It's like what makes me me, you know? Um, but some skills that I really want or I need help on, and I'm doing pretty good, is organizational skills, the processing and keeping it in check, and how to do those things. Just tips about it, and then the good workflow environment, uh, such as the color and setting tracks next to each other that belong there, or how to see it better. Um, but a mastering engineer and also mixing. It's just I said this already, but to further my understanding for my music and my purpose, and when I'm bringing to hip hop, it's gonna need some extra uh, levels of knowledge, not just being a music producer. Not that it even needs it. I think I could still do finely, but I just want to strengthen myself as much as I can. And the skills I will gain upon graduation, it's going to really shape. Like I can't imagine like right now what it's going to do. I just know where I will be and the success I'll have for myself at the very least. Um, that's that's pretty much it. Here's my reference page, references. I couldn't italicize the titles because of the type of fonts I have. And yeah, that's my industry case study. I hope I'm improving, and hope you found that very useful in demonstrating my path forward in music. Uh, Appreciate it. Thank you.